Hey hello dreamers, welcome back to the world of Tana Dreams. Today's video will be like an homage to a few of my favorite YouTubers period. Like no joke, without these extremely talented creators, this channel would not even exist. Even though I myself am a barnacle compared to them, I learned so much from their videos and they give me so much inspiration. So today I'll be drawing this character here in those YouTubers' art styles. His name is Monty, and fun fact, he was my imaginary friend as a child and I used to draw him a lot and make little comic strips with him. But those are stored deep in my attic and this is the first time in years I'm drawing him again. Yes, he's a mime. Why? I'm not too sure. I was terrified of mimes and clowns as a child, so maybe I wanted to make a version that was appealing to myself. I remembered his clothes and his face really well, but I could not really remember his hair, so I had to improv that. Sorry friend, at least you're not so imaginary now. So this is my art style, but of course I am not counting it. Let us begin. First off, we have probably the hugest inspiration for this channel, Meppity. Can I say that her aesthetic and style are absolutely lovely? She's so informative and explains her process so extremely well. Meppity also makes a lot of videos about CalArts, so if you're interested in that school, I highly recommend her channel for more information. With that being said, I'm drawing Monty closer to how Meppity designs Nico, formerly known as Tom Bluejay. What's helpful is that she and I use the same program, Procreate. I believe she said she uses Tinderbox and dry ink a lot for her line work, and I use those brushes on a regular basis anyways. Her characters are beautifully detailed but still animatable. As you can tell, I made Monty quite lanky and I had the hardest time ever with his hat. I do have a hard time drawing 3D props, I will admit it. Meppity adds blushing to her characters not only on the cheeks but the fingertips as well, which I actually incorporated in my art style. For a mime though, I had to use the noise brush and blushed Monty's cheeks and fingertips with a light gray color, and I set the layer to multiply. I also used the noise brush to give texture and add a little bit of a gradient. Overall, I think I did okay, far from perfect, but this was as close as I could get. So senpai, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. Next up, we have another huge inspiration for this channel, LavendarTowne. Oh my gosh, I love Haley's videos so much. They're interesting and she puts so much hard work and effort into them. I'm also a huge fan of her comic series, Unfamiliar. Fun fact, that inspired me to try comics myself since animation didn't really work out for me. What I love about Haley's art style is that it's a bit more loose and you can be more stylistically free with it. I believe she said in her older videos that she gets a lot of inspiration from Adventure Time and anime. Let me say that I adore the noodle limbs. What makes her style stand out a lot is probably the line work. Like, it's a little messy, but how she adds line variants is so beautifully done that it actually works. That's what I tried to do with Monty here. However, keep in mind that I'm actually using a stylus pen since I don't have an Apple Pencil. So I do have to work a little harder and double pass the line art to stimulate more pen pressure. Yes, for LavendarTowne's characters, the head sizes are pushed out and the eyes take up a larger portion of the face, which is absolutely adorable by the way. Then if you notice, the pupils will display an emoji to represent the character's emotions, so Monty is ecstatic to be on the big screen. What's funny is that I watched her draw this Not That series and that's how I learned to shade, and then I love the way she adds texture using the smudge tool and then setting the layer to the appropriate mode. I used multiply here. And there we have it. I would say I was pretty happy with how Monty turned out in LavendarTowne's style because look how charismatic he looks. Up next will be Kasey Golden. Wow, we're hitting all the gold today, huh? No pun intended. Anyways, I love Kasey's videos because not only is she really funny, but also because her art style is so unique. Like, it's very storybookish and geometric, but you really can't compare it to anyone else. Her art challenge videos are amazing, so I really love watching those as well. Anyways, for Kasey's style, I had to change up Monty's proportions a lot more and make him a bit thicker. The head made me more nervous because I had to be really careful with how I drew his eyes. I love drawing the nose though. I did have to restyle the hair, especially the bangs, to help get it a little closer to her style. I really had to watch the posing too, because when you draw in a blockish style, it's really easy for the character to become too stiff, and I do draw stiffly. Kasey is really good with posture, so she can easily overcome this. Spoiler alert, I didn't push the pose enough, so Monty did end up a bit stiff. The legs were a bit tricky because you have to be really careful with getting them as symmetrical as possible. The hands were really fun though. I finished off with highlights. I had to study how Kasey did her highlights before really going in though. With that, here's how he turned out. Unfortunately, I wasn't too happy. I felt I could have been more creative to get Monty closer to her style, and like I said, he did turn out a bit stiff. Moving on will be MewTripled. Now, she is not an artist to mess with. Not only is she a CalArts alumni, but she has a lot of actual animation industry experience with Netflix, so her videos can teach you a lot as well. I also really love her edgy yet really fun personality, so her videos are really entertaining. MewTripled is known for her sketchbook tours and for her comics on Instagram. However, her Instagram comics are more recent, so I decided to reference Monty from those, and to challenge myself, I chose this really cute portrait of her and her boyfriend too. Michelle has a really adorable cartoon style for her comics. I love how she draws faces, and you can be a little freer with her style, as in you can be a bit more organic when you draw the body out. Again, I made Monty a bit thicker and I kept a majority of his body parts geometric but added a little looseness and curves here and there to make it more organic. What I like about this style is that the shapes can really highlight the edgy and energetic personality of the characters. The lighting on the hair was a little tricky, but I think I managed it alright. Here's how Monty turned out in MewTripled style, and I was actually pretty pleased with the outcome. Last and absolutely positively not least, Jazza, formerly known as Draw with Jazza. Before I begin, let me explain that I actually had to do his style twice. The first time, I did his comic book style that he's really well known for on Newgrounds, and I have never done that style before. Basically, you just try to draw the character more realistically and use the line work to add more detail, but I ended up not doing a very good job, and you wouldn't even think Jazza drew this. So I decided to do his other style, which is how he draws his adorable little avatar in. With that being said, I love Jazza's channel so much. He's one of my favorite YouTubers, period. I love how hilarious, creative, and adventurous he is. Like, he makes things up so quickly on the fly that it's impressive. Honestly, I kind of wish I had the charisma he has, so whenever I watch him, I mentally take notes. Plus, his videos featuring his kids are some of my favorites. As for the drawing, I again had to push out the proportions. The head consumed 1/3 of the whole body, but I love drawing the eyes though. The body was a guilty pleasure, like look at his cute little feet. However, some parts of the face were looking a little wonky, so you can tell that I struggled a bit. Little fun fact about the Jazza avatar, they were used for his graphic novel, and after that was done, he had all these sprites left and he decided to use those for his thumbnails, so I love his thumbnails very much. So with this drawing, it was a much better than my first go, so here is Jazza's avatar style. Now here are all the styles, and I personally rank them here, with 1 being the strongest and 5 being the one I was the most shaky on. I felt that I captured LavendarTowne style the closest out of the 5 since my own style isn't too different from her style. For Kasey's style at number 5, again it was because I drew him too stiffly and there were many ways I could have been more creative to draw him closer to her style. But please let me know your opinions. Overall, I personally had a lot of fun with this challenge. It was definitely a learning experience, plus I'm really glad I got to say a lot of things from my favorite YouTubers. Thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. You will mostly see art related videos here. But soon I'll be transitioning to making videos on how art and creativity can lead to positivity. So please stay tuned. Have a wonderful rest of your day. May all your sweet dreams come true.